Oh my god, his story's fucking gold. I don't even care.
Like, this guy's missing out on a great thing. Go find Ben Affleck and murder him.
One thing that I will note is that I played it on this strange system twice. Once with a boy, once with a girl. The boys playing had the word Candyman on it, while the girls playing had the word Enderman on it. Fucking how many things can you reference in one go?
Had the word Slendermoo.
And of course, the game played the way it should be on the Nintendo 64.
It sounds like you are literally making this up. If I could not in fact see the screen, I would think you were having me on. Like, and then the plane had Enderman on it, yes, and was made out of blocks and chocolate. And also shot out puppies.
The next game was Wave Race 64. You'll never believe it. But there was a
skeleton.
song. But there was a song looping throughout. Totanika's song, or whatever Totanka's song. Yeah, I've heard of it before. I'd be lying if I said I didn't want to find that song in Rave Race 64, but on a continuous loop, it just gets creepy.
Does it?
Whenever I lost a race, I fell into the ocean and didn't come out. I played Mario Kart 64 where the hot air balloon in Luigi's Race Ray popped and exploded on the track, killing Mario, Peach and Donkey Kong.
It doesn't fucking say Donkey
I know, but
Kong.
still. I got hit by the Calamari Desert train and died. Then I played Blast Corps, and upon hitting the truck with nuclear explosives, I saw more than the buildings explode. I saw cutscenes of people bleeding, melting and exploding and so on. I'm glad you just put so on. And there was an apocalyptic death throughout. While there were strange long beings in the background. In Diddy Kong Racing, fucking how many games did they go through? There were people
fucking more games, isn't it?
In Diddy Kong Racing, there were people blowing up each other with rockets, and there was a rain of guts. In GoldenEye 007, I only found one file that was on mission 1.1 with 3 cheat codes cracked. I played a new file where 10 seconds into playing the whole area blew up. It just blew up. I think in the system hate rare games.
With 1080
Snowboarding.
my character wiped out after jumping off the cliff.
Wipe out.
You know what? I never could play 1080 snowboarding. I never could figure out the controls. With blood around his head. With F-Zero X, the tracks
Blue Falcon
were made to look scary. He does go a little detail. With hanging corpses of any racer who died during the race and floating dark figures all around.
You wouldn't be able to see it. You go at fucking 2,000 kilometres a second, you bastard.
I got scared
These
as
pinatas
well.
are very odd looking.
And my vehicle blew up twice because of
Because of fearing.
I got scared as well, and my vehicle blew up twice because of fearing. Nope, that hasn't changed.
More than a fearing.
In Ocarina of Time, Link made a permanent face in the opening cutscene that looked like a war face, and then in parentheses, Kubrick fans should know this reference.
Do you understand this reference?
Just suicide straight away.
This,
All the
like,
suicide.
this guy's like having you on.
Yeah, this is a joke. Navi wouldn't shut up and talked more than before and at a faster rate. It was as if it was trying...
Also, Link wouldn't stop rolling all over Hyrule.
As if it was trying to warn me about something. The weirdest thing was that Tingle showed up flying his balloon, somewhat frozen in midair.
No, Swimwhat
frozen in midair. And when I shot a rock at him, only blood came out. It reminded me of the monkeys from Halo 3.
How does that then remind you of the monkey people from Halo 3?
But who is playing Halo 3? Is it Sasquatch?
It is
what I wanna know.
Sasquatch.
But the worst...
Oh, here we go.
Was one of my favourite Nintendo 64 games, Banjo-Kazooie.
Oh, here we go. I've been playing this recently. Let's go.
In the opening, when Mumbo Jumbo comes out, Banjo gets irritated. The screen cuts to black. I then heard a somewhat deafening scream.
Somewhat deafening.
The most obvious guess is that Mumbo was killed by Banjo. Umanakas. We skipped the opening cutscene and got straight into the game. We? Are you playing this alone?
Wii Sports.
I paused to find that I had been given an unlimited number of lives.
Well, the maximum you can have is 9, so what did it say?
You'd think I'd be happy, but this unlimited number only means death.
What? What?
No more.
No more. The bear and the bird could die in one hit, which happened when I touched the termite in Grunty's castle. Oh, fuck off. You don't unlock... hang on. You have to go into Mumbo's Mountain before that termite comes out in the background. So what were you doing? You can't. False! This is false!
Really? Because up to this point I was on the fence over whether or not this really happened.
Yeah.
I thought it was a rock solid,
solid 5 out of 7.
Right. Then the termite 8 Banjo and Kazooie. How? I watched stupefied at this image until the termite burped, the grunty laugh and iris were unnecessary, right? Because I was alive and well at the front door of Grunty's castle. Mumbo Jumbo's mountain was unlike Mumbo's mountain, you fucking moron.
You're really upset.
Yeah, well, I've played this reason. I was like, when I got back for no reason, the level's classic music was replaced with the music of Bomb on Battlefield. Smoke weed every day. Dee. That's really kind. Full stop. Whenever I hurt an enemy, there was a little blood. Then came that dumb gorilla throwing that stupid fruit at you, oranges. He's the kind of enemy you want to see die in a swamp. That's a bit much. He's not that bad. When I finally defeated him with 113 eggs, what are you aiming at?
I wanted to take it out one turn at a time.
The stormtrooper playing Banjo-Kazooie.
He did die. ... by exploding in a blood of pool. Oh, sorry. By exploding into a pool of blood.
I like the first one better.
Yeah. It was terribly gruesome. So I paused the game, which MAE, the Super Mario 64 pausing noise, to look into a mirror. What? I had been playing this Ninterror 64 for 3 hours. My eyes showed that I was on the verge of becoming depressed. That's how depression works.
You can see it in their eyes.
After that incident, I couldn't play the system anymore. I tested my tested games on my real Nintendo 64. They were perfectly fine and were exactly how they were supposed to be. The only explanation that the Nintendo 64 I just brought was somehow hacked into making perfectly functioning games horrific and differently.
Because that's the thing that you could do with a Nintendo 64.
It's impossible. But you can only hack systems to make backgrounds on startup menus different. Not the way you play games. The Nintendo 64 doesn't even have a startup screen. I turned on the news while examining the strange number on the back.
Obama had just been assassinated.
1-100, 116, 5, 3527. Why the different number? Then it hit me. 113 stars. 113 instead of 103. 113 seconds of
I
falling.
want to stop you there because what about the 66 stars he had? Is that not going to come up?
1.1 with 3 cheat codes cracked. 113 eggs to be painted with gorilla blood. Somehow, the number 113 showed up in the games when playing on the Ninterror 64. Then I looked at the phone number. 100 116 3527 113. It also reminded me that I also examined the 1 that almost always appears at the first number of the telephone number. Suddenly I remembered an Easter egg on every Pixar movie. A113. What?
This guy is taking that
This stood
piss.
for Caltech classroom where Tim Burton and John Lester attended classes. The first letter was A. Yes, I know.
The first letter of the alphabet is A.
Easter egg. Fucking. Sorry, hang on a sec. Is this just suddenly become the number 23?
This has become one of those like those truth videos that goes NASA actually SS33 Freemasons. Literally watched one of those the other day. It was the worst thing ever.
Probably because it was 7:15 and I was getting a little crazy from this stupid plastic console. I put my copy of GoldenEye 007 in the Ninterror 64. Why? I go to the first cheat code. I see
swap.
And I see and enter A113. Soon, all my files were the same, and Buzz Lightyear was there. But it didn't involve 113 at all. Each file was on mission 6.6 with 6 cheat codes cracked. I get it, 666. We all saw that coming.
He actually wrote, "We all saw that coming." Like, what a twat.
I played as A113 in Ocarina of Time. What?
I don't even know what's happening. You've been saying words and I've not been paying attention.
My character kept being referred to as Darb. I have a bad feeling about this.
Had a bad feeling about
this.
this.
I have a bad feeling about this.
You will have.
Then I went to Mido's house where the chest that
Is it Mido? I've been saying Mido since I was a kid. Is it Mido?
It might be Mido.
Leave it in the comments. How will we know?
Yeah, exactly. Where the chest that should have had a heart container was a bomb that exploded on impact. It burned like a bomb and exploded. A text box appeared. Take that!
It's no use.
What did Phoenix Wright hack the system? The creepiest thing was that the timer from Majora's Mask was at the bottom of the screen. When I died from the bomb, the moon popped out of nowhere and crashed.
Lame.
At 7:54, I started to examine my experiences with the game on the new system. They were almost all connected in the same way. Candyman and Enderman? Somehow, I figured they could be translated into Can Die Man and End Her Man. Osama bin Laden is an anagram of Lobbed a Man in Sea. That's basically what that was. Just fucking clutching at straws here, mate. Then I remembered Toad's description of Bowser. Go
We
on,
all
Matt.
know what happened to Bin Laden, don't we?
What?
An old lady punched him to death.
It sounded like what happens when you find an Enderman in Minecraft. Those dark figures in Blast Corps and F-Zero X were Endermen. What are you saying?
What
Are
even
you
is
saying that Captain Falcon, the inventor of the Falcon Punch, is an Enderman?
I don't
Fuck
know,
off
I
out
don't
with
know
that
what
shit.
an Enderman is. I thought that was just Slender Man with two
No,
letters
no,
missing.
No, Enderman is...
It's an enemy in
Basically, they are Slenderman.
What's fucking stupid?
By this time, for no reason, I called the number. I knew no one would answer, but to my surprise, a familiar voice was heard. The clerk at the antique shop. I asked him if I could return my new system because it was acting strange. Then he told me this.
There was a system in there? That's too strange. It
Way
felt
too
so
strange.
light. I assumed it was an empty box. I wouldn't sell it if it didn't remind me of my son.
I asked him about his son. I'm surprised he
Please
answered.
don't tell me his name's Ben. Please don't tell me his name's Ben.
Oh my god, I've just got it. I've just got it.
His name was Brad.
What's that an anagram of?
Oh god.
He was just in love with the Nintendo 64. Nintendo was one of his two favorite interests. The other was creepypasta.
Die! Actually die.
But then he became ill around 2007.
It's Ben Drowned.
And
It's fucking Ben Drowned.
his
I
one
told you not
last
to.
wish was to be buried with his N64.
So I slapped him and told him not to be so fucking
Was he also
stupid.
buried with Jeff the Killer and Slenderman?
But
No,
in
they
its
just turned up to his
original
funeral.
box, along with a controller and copy of that Mario game.
Oh my god.
I received that box on September the 30th, 2011. I remember the day because, in sheer coincidence, it's the day of the 15th anniversary of the Nintendo 64.
Why would he know that?
I was amused by the punk who wrote Terror on it.
I was still in
So, like-
shock.
So none of
Could
that
it
dialogue
be?
came from a person.
I was in shock. Could it be? No. No, it couldn't.
I still remember watching my boy write
My
some
boy.
notes and stuff them into the bottom of his N64 box.
I grabbed the box. I surveyed the bottom to find white pieces of paper, but I didn't want to be rude. So I asked him where I could find his grave.
Well, I don't want to tell you because you're weird and you might dig it up or vandalize it.
Well, person I've only just sold this N64 to, which
Well-
is supposed to be a box, and I'm talking to for the first time over the
Well,
fucking phone.
Also, kind of like goes like, how much for this box? £2. It's a box.
Oh my god.
Matt, you just reminded me of the opening of Peeping Toms. It'll be £2.
Right, unfortunately,
Come on,
Jacob.
Jacob
has finished his beer.
Right.
I still remember watching.
No.
Well, our town has two cemeteries. Brad lives in Cemetery A.
It's called Cemetery A!
I also can't imagine somebody living in the cemetery if they're supposed to be dead.
He was the 113th person to be buried
Oh, I
there.
get it. A113.
And the thing is, we don't know each other. I have no reason to believe you'd be interested in facts about his burial, but I'm going to tell you them anyway.
There was a silence for 30 seconds until I said I'd be there tomorrow. Fuck off! Are you weirdo?
For 30 seconds I've been on the phone going, hello? Are you still... I think the signal's gone.
I opened the paper to find these three notes. Get in or get out. Bit racist.
Oh my god, get in or get out.
Enderman and so long. The last note was written with the words, that was one word, going downwards. I put the third note under the second, and you can guess the new word was Slenderman! The darkest realization had yet hit me like a rock. Brad spelled backwards is Darb. Oh, you already knew that. The next day I drove to the antique shop to drop off the Ninterror 64. I could swear that I heard a sexy voice swearing at me, pardon. I packed up my belongings and left my homestead. On my way home I drove past Cemetery A, but I just kept on driving. I was planning on living. That's the whole story.
Right.
That
Oh
must be
my
a joke.
God.
That
This is
must be a joke.
I fucking hope it is a joke, seriously.
Because even though it's in deletion log refugees and pasta trying to be good when it sucks enough to be a troll, all that proves is that it was on the wiki once. That's all that proves.
It's so funny. Delusional retarded that it should be in an asylum is one of the categories it's in as well. This is literally retarded.
Shall we read some comments?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, so the dude who licks mustard says, "This is just the most brain tumor growing, cliched melodramatic shit I've ever read that wasn't directly produced from the digestive system of JC the hyena or dubious dugong,
Oh man, I like this guy.
and then expelled from the anal tract of either user.
Oh, what a guy.
They misuse words that they don't know the meaning of, set up the most cliche and melodramatic scenes, and have the protagonist react like the sound of a pin dropping would make them flip their shit. Provided the deafening silence lasting more than a femtosecond already didn't make them slip their wrists off. The easily made GTA 5 joke, his name was Brad, he was buried in a grave labelled Michael Townley, is the only redeeming factor in this collection of prose. This is a bad Nintendo X Minecraft crossover fanfiction that uses Slenderman for no good reason, puts blood everywhere, and shows how little of English the author grasps. 0 out of 10, nuke that bitch from orbit.
Boom. Fucking dude who licks mustard, subscribe. I'm sure you'll like us.
Right, shall we
Yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty obviously a joke pasta, but I don't object to reading joke pastas on the show. We've done it before, what was that, the Wheel of Fortune one, and of course I Hate You as well. But the problem is this isn't funny enough, I think, is the issue. It's quite boring.
There's a bit in the middle where I was just like, oh my god, this is insane, and then it just goes fucking downhill. Oh, it's just the cheapest, shittest rip-off of Ben Drown you could ever possibly imagine.
Brad,
and
suffocated.
It just shows you how unimaginative the person who wrote this story is, considering how many games he had to sort of go into and get all these Easter eggs for to eventually prove his point. What was the whole point of that Resident Evil 2 thing? Why did he go into detail with that? Why did he do a lot of things? Why did he sit down and take the time to write this story? No one will ever know. That's it. That's all I got to say, because it's just
it was rubbish.
Awful.
It was rubbish, and like
rubbish.
I say, I'm
just
quite...
throwing in references to stuff like, and then Resident Evil cheerleader thing.
And then Rama was there from the raid, and he shot like 200 guys because there were so many guys in that terror block. And then the raid 2 happened, and I'm not actually going to say that because that's a spoiler, but still, there you go.
The raid 2 happened, and it wasn't as good.
Hey.
But look, I don't know if it's really worth going on and on about this, because I think it probably was written as a joke, and if it wasn't, then this person... Either way, this person doesn't seem to show a lot of talent, because it's not very funny, and it's really badly written anyway, so I got nothing positive to say about it.
Nope. That's a big...
Thumbs down from me, mate.
And thanks for Kaiser Chiefs for...
Mike, can you stop squeaking that fucking chair?
Thanks to Jaeger Chiefs for the stuff. And
thank you, Jaeger Bomb.
And
we'll see you next time eating the pudding. Donate to our Patreon, please, because I need another solid gold jet for my house.